Colt, do you want to add anything, or?
I got to tell you, man. When I first started watching Stewart, you sent me the free man perspective, and I thought it was a little out there. And I also watched History of Mind Control. I like that one better than the free man perspective. But after hearing him on this show, there really wasn't anything that I disagree with. And I think that the craziest piece of information that he spit out was the last thing he talked about with Baghdad. I mean, you and I were talking about a couple weeks ago. What else was in Baghdad? What else is in Iran? What else is in Israel? There has to be something extraterrestrial or extra spiritual that these people know about and we don't know about. And I guess that's it.
Well, he was talking about Stargate, and we've been indoctrinated about the fact that Stargates exist that are produced. I think that a lot of what we see in movies, there's some truth to that.
Agreed.
They have a whole series called Stargate. And where do they base their show out of? The Middle East, the Northern African community, the area where they pretty much first began.
You know, Nick, I hate to end the show on this note, but I'm hearing a lot of static, and I don't think it's coming from me or you. Do you know where that's coming from?
It's coming over here. It's I'm trying to get out of the wind right now. I'm sorry about that.
Great.
But yeah, sure. You know, when it comes to Hollywood, I think it was Jordan Maxwell that put it the best. You know, it's all controlled by the same people that control the governments and the religions. And sure, you know, they produce these movies. As far as what I know, they produce these movies in order to give us a go ahead or an you know, like an inside scoop on what's going on, because basically mathematically, scientifically, geometrically, you cannot take away somebody's free will. And free will is something that we do have within us, but they can't take it from us without telling us ahead of time. So, you know, when they produce these movies, it's definitely something that they're doing because they know the laws of nature, they know the laws of the cosmos.
Agreed. I think everything that comes out of Hollywood is for one reason and one reason only. It's put there purposely for mind control. And they will tell us it's science fiction, or they'll tell us it's outright fiction, or they'll tell us it's fantasy, when in reality it's just that. It's reality. And the only people that are going to be able to watch them and see the hidden messages are people like us, people that are unplugged.
Right. I totally agree.
What we see on TV is to also discredit what reality really is. What we see is for people to say, oh, this is just on TV. There's no way that this could actually be true. So it's a way to discredit the truth. If someone comes forward and says, hey, this is actually true, what they show on Stargate Atlantis or whatnot.
Because, you know, reality actually makes greater entertainment than fiction does.
I mean, and anybody that doesn't think the government has any connection to Hollywood, just take Star Wars, for example. Star Wars is arguably the most popular movie franchise on the history of the planet, and where did the creator come from? He came from NASA.
Yeah.
And NASA's sole purpose is to lead us. And NASA's sole purpose is to lead us away from the real truth in the cosmos. There's never been anything true that's come out of NASA. Never.
Well, I got a question. There was a book based off of landing on the moon, based off of actual footage showing pyramids, life form, let's say some sort of plant life, versus the people who doubt that we even landed on the moon. What do you guys make of that?
Well, according to Swerdlow, the moon is a hollow object. Right?
Well, you know, one thing that's so incredible about the moon is that it doesn't spin. you can notice if you get any type of viewing object like a telescope, whatever, you can see that the face of the moon faces one way to the planet Earth all the way around continuously. You never see the other side of the moon.
Okay, so what do you make of the fact that some footage shows pyramid structures, where there's other footage showing props with lighting material and other different props that show that it was staged? I mean, what's true, what's reality?
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's truth in both. I think that when we supposedly first landed on the moon, July 20th, 1969, I thought that was false. I thought that was staged. But at this point in time, you're talking 30 years have passed. The technology's become more advanced. And then you have what Mr. Swerdlow was talking about, that the moon was a hollow object and that it's used for colonization and military purposes. So I sort of believe both theories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that the fact that we didn't really land on the moon when we said we did, there's reality in that, but there's reality that we did land on the moon at a later time, and there were other objects found that the NASA astronauts aren't revealing to us?
Definitely. And since the theme of the show is Stewart Swerdlow and his research, according to Swerdlow, most of the NASA astronauts were actually mind-controlled. So if they did find anything on the moon, they're not even going to remember it. They found it, they turned it over to the government, and it was classified.
Some of the radio broadcasts have one of the astronauts kind of hinting, saying boulders as far as being what he discovered, but in all reality, the boulders that he was talking about were pyramid structures similar to what you see in Egypt or the Mayan civilization.
I don't doubt it for a second. Matter of fact, Nick, you said it on the Eric John Phelps broadcast that we had, that you don't believe anything that comes out of NASA. And anybody looking for more information on NASA, you can go out and you can get a book called The Dark History of NASA, and it talks about a lot of the information that they put out is put out simply to mislead the public. And it also talks about NASA's secret history of being a weapons development agency. And I think that whatever secrets were found on the moon, whatever secrets are brought back from other planets, we don't know about them. And the government isn't going to release the information because it plays into the greater plan.
We'll never know unless there's an actual astronaut who comes forward and lays his life on the line and says, this is what I saw.
Agreed. Agreed. Unless there's a major whistleblower, we'll never find out.
Never, never, never. Because do you have the technology to blast a rocket out in space and travel to the moon yourself and see what's there yourself? I don't.
Of course not.
Exactly.
Of
now,
course
in
not.
the book, it shows an astronaut planting a flag into the moon with the 33rd degree symbolism in the flag. What do you make of that? Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah. Well, you know what, one thing, like I was saying, is it's just totally unnatural for the moon to not spin the way that every other rock in this solar system does. And, I've heard all kinds of theories on it, but it's just not natural. So, I mean, who knows what they're doing and how it happened, but it's just not natural,
Yeah, but the whole fact that I mentioned the 33rd degree Masonic symbol on the flag being implanted into the moon based off of the author of the book, doesn't that kind of give you a little EBGBs, a little saying, hey, this is a complete Masonic, Babylonian, Vatican conspiracy?
Sure, and I think the other part was that it was to well, obviously not show people, but anybody that's unplugged knows the truth that these people they know that this is just the beginning. They want to take over the Earth, and then they want to take over the solar system, and then they want to take over the universe, and then they want to take over extra dimensions. They're sick, fucked up people. I think that's the bottom line. I think that's what the 33rd degree Masonic symbol on the flag on the moon represents. That the people that